Hello again. It's me, Norma Reeves. Yes. So I just created a video sharing my gratitude for the beloved. I call him beloved Jeremy Minor because he has given me the ability to not throw in the towel too soon. Because when you reach a certain level in entrepreneurship and you're trying to break free from your old habits and you don't know really which direction or which guidance or what is it that's going to really like turn the light bulb on or make you shift or make you like think so you could elevate. Well, when you don't have that, then you're basically dead in the water, stuck, and most people don't move forward. Well, I am grateful for this organization that I consider myself part of, which is called PHP Agency, an integrity marketing company, because we are the type of financial service industry that is strong on developing its agents, strong on bringing knowledge and bringing awareness to the community that we serve. And in that process, while you think you're helping other people, because we are called people helping people, really what you're doing is developing and growing yourself. And as you do that, you become more aware of other folks that you could actually make an impact and touch their lives in a positive way and in a life transforming way. Yes, I'm speaking in the areas of finance, but this is deeper than that. I'm talking about personal development, something that you, no matter how much money you have, will not be able to touch unless you shift that mind, unless you think and view things in a different light. It doesn't matter how much money you have. You could still be a miserable, So, okay. The video got cut off a little bit briefly, not intentionally, but because I was sharing about my beloved Jeremy Minor and how he was able to open my mind, expand my mind, my thinking process, and how I view things. And let me give you again his books. The New Model of Selling, and it's basically really telling you techniques on how to sell properly. So that way, instead of you only getting a percentage of what you ought to bring home as far as closing deals, you get to increase that like double. So if you're only bringing 2-3 sales per week, if you implement this technique and you really study and bring it to the heart, you could bring home 4, 6, or even more sales per week in whatever industry, And that's the beauty of his style. Okay. And then his other book, which is more in alignment to what I just said, is this here, the Black Book of Questions. And it's NEPQ, Neuro Emotional Persuasive Questioning. And it's literally just that. Okay. So Mr. Jeremy Minor, not only did he bring that value, but he also helped me to say, hey, explore, go out there and see what's going on. Go out there and see. Don't just sit still water. Don't just stand in murky grounds. Go out there and explore. This is your dream, your vision. It's not even your organization's. A lot of us think, oh, I represent this company, so it's this. No, we don't work like that. Okay, that's if you are employed by that company. They pay your taxes. They govern when you go into work and when you get off of work, when you could go on vacation, when you could get off of vacation. No, this is not that type of organization. What this organization is doing is building business individuals that you could actually carry your own company, and you build people to carry their own company. This is what people helping people is. All right. So that being said, you have to think in a different level. You have to process things in a different manner. You cannot think like an employee if you're going to run your own company. You're going to flop. And that's why most people give up so soon in this business, because you're thinking, okay, well, it's easy for me to do this because all I got to do is just follow the rules like I've been taught. All I got to do is just follow what the 9-to-5 ordained brick and mortar tells me. However, there's more to it than that. Yes, you do need that discipline, which this is what I learned the hard way. However, even more than that discipline is your personal development. You're shifting in the mind, your thought process, the way how you see others, the way how you see the world, the way how you see community, the way how you see yourself within that community, how you can build others and bring them up. So it's a whole new world. It's a whole new arts and world. So Thrive in 2025 was a 3-day event by Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi. These two were amazing. They brought on some really, really, I think, key speakers like Matthew McConaughey. I mean, this guy, he's an actor. Yes, he's an actor. But who knew that he is also an author? He wrote a book, and I'm going to tell you right now what that book is called. It's called, what is it? Green Light. All right. And it says you look into the past where you had failed, and then you reflect. It's something we all could relate to. All right. So he says you could be either a co-pilot and a ride along, and then you start thinking about what's going on. But then what I like about all of this, because again, he's just giving a summary, but he said there are different types of people and different types of mindset. One of it is the me in the first person, you second person, and we as a overall holistic manner and approach of things. All right. Now it says the first person, this is where you're most honest. And then the second person is where, you're not as honest, because there's like a filter, there's like a layer. All right. So the first person is like more direct. Then the second person is like, okay, someone else it's more like, okay, before I tell you or take off that screen, there's this. And then the third person is how you thinking about all of you, like as an overall. And he even said that in the we part, you could come off as being arrogant, because sometimes you're not giving people the chance to choose for themselves. It's like, you're like, okay, well, and they're like, why are you bringing on your opinion on me? I don't need you to tell me how to live my life. And it's funny because I came across that today in at PHP in our Fast Start school, where she was like, I don't want anybody to tell me how to dress and how to look. And I said, no, it's not what it's all about. It's about, how I choose. And I'm like, that is true. But let's elevate a minute. Okay. Because sometimes when you start thinking at a different level, you kind of want to do more for others, and you start thinking and your mind starts to shift on how you could help others. So the first thing is, okay, I need to change my appearance. I need to make sure my outlook is more soft, more neutral. However, whatever it is, because it's like, okay, if I'm too warm, I want to be more cool. If I'm too cold, I want to be more warm. So you kind of have to shift, period. You have to shift your personality. You have to shift your thought process when you're dealing with people, because there's so many personalities out there that you need to be able to have that neutral standpoint. And as Tony Robbins also explained in today's, because we had a 3-day event. It's called Thrive in 2025. It's on Zoom, I believe. And we also had it on, I forgot which other message. And he also had it in live. But the idea is to get some little nuggets of what it is that he does and how we can improve our mindset when dealing in anything. And first off is teaching. That's the first way that you could change your mindset. You're not telling, you're not bossing around, you're teaching. Whatever product you have, you teach it. So I was like, wow. And then even that, and it's like, okay, what are some of the things that you got to do? Okay, you got to come up with your steps. He has a book, he has a package that, sorry guys, you had to take part of it. And it was at a very discounted rate. I am so sorry that I didn't get a chance to take that opportunity. But I am grateful that it's conducted every year. So I will, like I said, as I'm developing, as I'm growing, you got to learn certain things that you got to do so that you can stay afloat. So I will make sure and do the best that I could. So that means I'm going to make sure that the next time this opportunity comes, I'm not going to miss the boat. I'm not going to get left behind, in the sense that if I see something that I want, I'm going to get it. Just like how I did with the NPQ book. The Black Book of Questioning. I just needed to know because, like I said, I'm a logistic type person. Once I got the information, once I saw the source was reliable or is trustworthy enough for me to say, yeah, okay, I'll give this guy a chance. Because again, my approach is not on get rich quick scheme, is not on, here today, gone tomorrow. No, my approach is to bring value, and that takes developing. That requires patience, but most important than anything, thinking about the other person, thinking about how you would feel or how you could put yourself in that other person's shoe. So it requires some skills. It does. So like I said, I'm very grateful for him. I got the opportunity to hear from them, and these guys are amazing. But I would have never known, so shameful to say, I would have never known about this legendary Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi. I would have not had known about them though, had it not been for my beloved Jeremy Minor. So kudos to you. I am grateful and appreciate for all of you, for the three of you. And I know there's so many more people, so many more mentors, so many more gurus out there, but just give us a chance. Just let yourself be known. I know a lot of people say, hey, just go out there and let yourself be known if you're new. But seasoned veterans in this industry of network marketing, social networking, sales, dealing with people, you're very rare. And a lot of people, the reason why they're not thriving or they're not moving ahead is because, number one, they don't know the right source, where to go. And number two, they have no idea who's the who and who's the what and who's going to elevate you in this industry. This is called sales. You call it entrepreneurship, starting up your own business, whatever it is that you call this type of world, which is amazing. It exists. But it will be, I'm grateful for these three individuals in particular. And I know there's many more, because just on the Thrive in 2025, oh my God, so much knowledge in 3 days. And each day was only 3 hours. They also have their yearly events in Vegas. That's 8 hours, and I believe it's 3 days. But it's worth it. It's worth it to invest. It's worth it to invest in your personal development and in your growth, because this information that I received was just 3 days, and it was like, but for whatever reason, God knows when you're ready. He prepares you. Because had I learned this, or had I been exposed to this any other time, I probably would have fallen short. I probably would have been like, okay, in here, out there, but not. But immediately as I got the information, my mind just shifted. I cannot explain it, but I owe it all first to Jeremy for even piquing my curiosity about who this individual is and why is he giving kudos. But I would have not have known any of that, or I would have not known like where the level where I'm at now had it not been to that big event, So we got to really hone in and seize the moments as they are presented to us, not when we're ready. We seize it as it is presented to us, because this is our breakthrough. This is how we get to the next level. It's kind of like saying, you're, oh my God, I'm hungry, I'm starving, I don't have any money though. Oh my God, what am I going to do? You know what? I'm only 5 minutes away from my house. Let me just hold it in. But I gotta get back on track, because I need to go out there and get some more numbers. I'm talking about in the sense of me being as an entrepreneur and me going out to do my prospecting. Prospecting is when you go get names and numbers to tell people about what it is that we do in the industry. Sounds fun and easy enough, but holy camoles, it requires a lot of energy, a lot of toughness, because not everybody's nice and not everybody's going to take into it. And then that there's other consequences along the way. So then you have to fight against your own self-doubts. Great, no worries. But you're telling the higher power, you're telling the creator, man, I am hungry, I'm starving, but I got to finish this quota. And then all of a sudden, during that whole process, someone just happens to show up. But you just talk to the higher power, the creator, and you're telling him what your needs are. Your intentions are clear, they're pure, they're not harming anyone. So all of a sudden, he brings someone your way, and that person happens to have food. Or no, let's say we don't bring somebody. You're walking along the way, because I also talk about nature and how to free your mind to grow. So I'm curious. I see a plant in my community. There's this bush, this shrubbery, and it grows berries. So one day I was curious, like, what are all these berries about? But I'm going to be honest with you. Call me weird. I don't care. I saw, because we also have iguanas. I love this neighborhood. So exotic. We also have a population of iguanas that they just get out of hand and rowdy. But there's some iguanas that have been around for years. And you can tell by their spikes on the top, like from the back, from their head all the way to their tail. You could tell their age and their maturity. So I see the iguanas. I'm like, they're going inside in the bushes and in the shrubbery, and they just, I'm like, what's wrong with these things? So then I got curious. So they're going into the shrubbery. I walk up, they get scared, and they run away. When I look closely in the bushes, because, I live here, I need to know what's going on. I saw berries. I said, wait a minute. I said, if those son of a guns could actually risk their lives because they're getting exposed to see, in front of people, to actually, take part of that. So I said, let me taste one of them. I sampled the berry. So then I was like, what? It was good. It was delicious. It was sweet. It was the best. Hey, I'm out in the community. I don't expect to find food because this is not this is not farmland. This is literally in the middle of the city, in the community. And yeah, we have people that they do their own trees and they plant, but this is if you own your house. But I live in an apartment community, and we have a lot of rare fruits and rare foods within the community, trees, because this is Seminole Nations, and we have it's a what do you call it? It's called Seminole Nations. It's like a preserved land, and the reason why I'm thinking why it's preserved is because of the exotic trees that are around. So we have tamarind, we have or tamarind. A lot of people know it as tamarind. My island back home, we call it tamarind. And then we even have green peas, plant trees, which is strange. I didn't know that the peas grow in that manner. But I literally cracked it open, and yeah, but I didn't sample it because they were still green. But then the Guyanese bushes, the berries, and how I found out about those is because, well, I looked it up on Google. And yeah, I found out that they were nutritious berries and they were healthy and they were good to have. But my point, I'm sorry, I went off a tangent. Oh, well, sorry, bringing content, is if you're walking and you come across one of those bushes, which I have, why would you stop working just so you could feed yourself when the berry's right there? And then it's not that you just happen to be like, oh, no, your mind gazes towards it and you see a whole plethora of it. That's your snack right there. So what you're going to do, just walk away and be like, nah, forget it, throw it down. I'm tired anyways. No, you go, you stop, you get that berry, and you keep going. So this is what Jeremy Miner, Tony Robbins, and Dean Graziosi, this is the value that they are to me, is listen, we're bringing information, we're bringing content to you. We're giving you the knowledge and the nourishment that you need to keep going, to stay, so that you can see your success. And your success in this business is not only are you transforming lives, but you're also transforming your own life emotionally, mentally, physically, and financially. Okay? So you stick with this industry, you stick with this business, especially, I can only speak on my behalf, but in the financial service industry, you will have a breakthrough. And these are the tools and the techniques that you use, your personal development, books. And you don't just have it there collecting dust. You actually read and implement it. So again, my appreciation, my gratitude, Jeremy Miner, thank you for opening my eyes and letting me know there's people out there that could help me to grow. Okay? If you feel stuck in whatever situation or whatever industry that you're in, you don't feel like you're getting the necessary growth and necessary help that you need, come on, YouTube it. YouTube it. I mean, there's a reason why these things are in place. So you don't always get it one-to-one. sometimes you also need to get out of your own mind, your own self thinking, and explore and find out, find out the what if. So, yes, folks, thank you. Thank you again. Robbins, Graziosi, Minor.